to the crack of dawn. It's the second episode. We decided to do it here in my living room. It's crazy. I'm not prepared, as always. And we don't really know how to use these cameras. But my daughter is on the camera now. She's doing a great job. I almost sat on her guinea pig and killed him first episode. But I wouldn't do that. He's big. He's good. He's so cute. We love him. And, we keep the heat on for him and everything because he's just fabulous. Here's what we're doing, just in case you didn't tune in for the first episode. We are doing, this is my sister and I, it's called Sanibel Sisters. We're in Sanibel, Florida. And we're holding hands with the bucket. And we've got the shovel. And my painting looks pretty good. I mean, for 24 minutes, we're just trying to talk and hang out and have fun. So we are going to, just tell me, Nettie. She's trying to tell me to do something.
Show the camera the painting.
I'm not ready to show the painting yet, Nettie.
No, the one that you just
so the one that I'm doing now, I'm going to show in a minute. It's like this one, but it's just a smaller version, okay? So I'm going to put this here. These are just paper plates. You don't want to use paper, though. You want to use styrofoam because the paper absorbs the paint. The styrofoam is sort of like a real plate, and you can use a real plate. Oil painting, it'll come off with turpentine, and you can use acrylic paint like I'm using here. I have blue, I have white, I have black, and I have brown because I thought the brown was black. So I probably won't be using the brown, but maybe. You never know. So I'm going to put that there, and I'll show you my painting. So it's a little, it's not as good as the other one, of course, because it's very small. And I did it in, about 15 minutes because I'm babbling the whole time. I love to talk. I can't help it. We had our local elections yesterday. I voted first thing in the morning before I went to work. Yep, we don't talk about that because I love so many people. And, you can't vote for everybody. And it's hard. I would never run for election. So for anybody that ran, kudos to you because you are on camera and you're on display. And, I don't like that. So I'm not running for anything. And I probably never will. But I think it's a big deal. So congratulations to all of the people that won and to all of the people that ran. It's a bigger deal to run, never mind a win. It's hard. So I have a lot of friends that didn't win, and I have a lot of friends that did win. It's weird. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm kind of close to done, but we wanted to do 2 episodes because I missed a couple last week. We were supposed to be on location, and they gave me the cameras. And they said, Dawn, here's how to use it. And I was like, you need to teach me about 5 times because I don't understand that much, I can use the microwave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a smaller brush. And I'll show you this painting a little up close. I've got a Dixie cup. My daughter's running the camera. If it's a horrible program, I'm sorry. We're new at this. Just terrible at it. But she's learning, and she's 12. And, to be a volunteer at Nutmeg TV is fantastic. And it's great for college to learn how to do these things because they're the same technology as what Steven Spielberg uses. They have all the same cameras. It's crazy. So I noticed in this painting that there's a lot of bright white around the people, which I should have done before. I can't really go back. So I'm just going to wing it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more white up close. It's going to look like more waves are kind of closer up. And, this kind of dried because we did 2 episodes. So it kind of dries. I'm going to mix some blue and black and white. Mixed together. It's going to make bluish, blackish white. And it's going to make some nice little, stuff going on in the foreground. I'm going to try and make it look real. That's what we want. But, I'm not one of those people that paints a painting for 15,000 hours. I don't like it. I get sick of it. I get bored. And, it's not good for the brain cells to be working on something the whole time. Sort of like when you get a project manager. They've got to work on a project the whole time. It's very hard. It's hard to work in business. It's hard to work in banking. All that stuff takes time. So I'm just trying to make this look a little bit more washed out. Okay? I like the dark. I like the darkness, but I'm going to make it a little mixed in a little bit more. I can bring that black back, but I'm trying to make it look more realistic. And to those of you that can't paint, the easiest thing in the world is to paint the background first and add a silhouette. It's very easy. I do it all the time. People are like, Dawn, how did you do that? I'm like, it's a silhouette, please. It's so easy. If you have globs of paint, you want to use the globs of paint in the foreground. The foreground means the part of the painting that's closer to you. So you could do globs. Like, look at this glob. I can glob that on. It's going to look like a wave maybe is in the front. Kind of looks nice, doesn't it? And since the girls are walking into the water, they might be creating a little bit of fuss, you know, a little bit of, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. But I'm trying to make it look real. I really am. Yeah. So I haven't been grocery shopping in a while. Joanne is in Ireland. She just got back. So I can't wait to grocery shop. I'm going to be staying away from the sodium. I love this dripping effect. That was a mistake. Some mistakes are your biggest accomplishments. So don't worry about mistakes because they happen and they're fun. And, you know, when the girls are walking in the water, they're going to create some waves and things. I could fix my bucket and make it look more real because a bucket is exactly the same on both sides. Okay? It's not warped. It goes the same. And if you flow it around like this, it kind of can look real. I love this dripping effect. I don't know how that happened. It just did. It's crazy. But I love it. And remember, I went out with my friends today, Lucille and Jean from the Senior Center. They're two of my best friends in the world. And they're so easy. And they say, Dawn, I don't like working on a painting more than 1 hour. I'm like, neither do I. I really don't. I do it sometimes, but I really don't like to do it. The background I'm going to leave alone because the foreground is what you want to really bring forward. Okay? And I'm going to try to really make this look nice. I might bring a little bit in the background around their faces because in this one here, we have some white going on. I just don't want to draw too much attention. We want it to look good though. And then I'm going to make some more gray because every time somebody's walking, they create a shadow. Now that means that the sun is shining from behind them. If the sun was shining this way, the shadows would be in the back of them. But they're not. It's a lot of fun. I could have put on a fancier outfit because I'm at home. I have all these fancy outfits, but no, I didn't want to do it. Put a little bit of gray in the front because, you know, there's a lot going on in the ocean. I could put a shark in the background, but I'm not going to. It's like when my kids were on Cape Cod. There were sharks everywhere, everywhere. And they went and they jumped off the Jaws Bridge. Crazy. My brother-in-law has a Boston whaler. I think he has two, doesn't he, Nettie? I think he has two Boston whalers. They're pretty nice boats. We're not boat people. My sister and I did not grow up with boats. We don't know anything about boats. My husband just sold his boat. I didn't really like it. He loved it, but I didn't like it. So I'm going to put some more white up here. I'm going to move that around. Just fun. Remember that a silhouette is just a black silhouette. It's very easy. You don't have to worry about shading or colors or nothing. You just draw the black and it's on there. And maybe I'll make a little bit more up top, but I'm going to make sure that I definitely blend that in. Those are waves, you know. The girls just going in the ocean, taking a nice swim. They're not on Cape Cod because, you know, they'd run into some sharks. The other thing is I always tell people paint the sides. You want to paint the sides. So again, painting the sides, if you're going to do here and there's a little blue wave, you're going to go off and you're going to do the same color there. But you could do the whole thing blue. Doesn't matter. So if you paint the sides, you want it a little mixed up here. But painting the sides works. It means you don't have to frame it. Framing's very expensive. And it should be. These people are very good at math, unlike me. Well, I'm not a framer. You can mix it in so it looks kind of nice. And then from the side, it makes it look a lot nicer when it's on the wall. Okay? Now my silhouettes are not perfectly black. So I'm just going to make them perfectly black. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. Oh, we went to the mall the other day. It was my husband's birthday. I thought he was 45. No, he is 45. I thought he was 44, but he's 45.
No, you thought he was 43.
I thought he was 43. Oh, I'm so old. So that's why I tell people I'm 59. They're like, wow, you cougar. I'm like, I know. So I'm going to just make them a little blacker because they are silhouettes. Silhouettes are always black, always. And the easiest thing to teach to children Can we see? Yep. And I'd say we have, hold on, I'm going to check the phone. It's 9:24 at night. I never film this late. I would imagine, what time do we film at? 8:24? I don't even know. But I'm going to put these in and make them a little bit blacker because you know what? Silhouettes are black. And they're easy. As long as you have the basic fundamentals. And a good brush. This is not a good brush. But you don't need to spend a lot on brushes. You really don't. You could go to Dick Blick, like I go to, and you go in the background, or in the back of the store, rather. It's a fun store to go to. I mean, A.C. Moore is great. Michael's is great. There's so many great art. Jerry's Artorama in West Hartford. Oh my God, it's like the West Farms Mall. It's amazing. Amazing store, but very big. But they know what they're talking about. Not that A.C. Moore doesn't. They know too. And if you get your stuff framed at A.C. Moore, just tell them not to put the sticker on the back. Because then people judge. Like everybody does. Oh, you got it framed at A.C. Moore. Well, they do just as good as a job. Well, maybe not as good as the framer, but you know what I mean? They know what they're doing. It's like the hairdresser. You know, I go to, Gino at the gallery, did my hair, and people went wild. And then I go to Cost Cutters. People don't go so wild, but sometimes they do. Sometimes they get the lady in Southington, she's fantastic. She's great. You know, and I have problems with the tips. You know, I have problems tipping. I don't know what to do. You're supposed to add the first two numbers. So if your check is $24, you're supposed to add the first two numbers. 2 and 2 is 4. And if you're nice, you round it off to 5. But if you're really nice, like my friend Heather, she rounds it off to about 100. Because she's nice. Yes. And we're going to be going out soon. Wild Hacks coming in from Syracuse. Going to have fun and go out and celebrate. And, we miss her. You know, we've got a good Farmington community here, but, I miss some of my friends that move. Lots of ESPN people out here. A lot. Yeah. And I like it. You're going to put these shadows in because these people are creating shadows. Usually what I do is I just take my black and I take from where her leg is and I just squiggle it out like this. And do the same thing with this. Squiggle it out. They're making a shadow. I mean, shadows are what makes things look real. So every time you're painting, people are like, what is that? And you have to realize that it's just a shadow. It makes it look more real. I kind of like mine. I don't like this black dot here, though, so I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to take this brush. This is the brush from the Abby Maeve show. I bought them a brush at Jerry Artorama. And I'm going to mix blue and black. I'm going to show you. Hold on. Without dumping everything over. Then I'll have more to clean up at my house. I don't have time to clean. No. And I used to be a maid. You'd think I could handle my own house, but I can't. It's so hard. It's like I come home from work. There's tons of laundry. I can't do it. I've got Coco on the haystack. I've got 4 people in the house. I do everything. The kids know how to do laundry, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't think I ever had to do a load of laundry my whole life. My mother did everything. And I like it like that. I don't want my kids to have to do everything. I want them to know what they're doing, but I also don't want them to have to come home and do laundry all day. So I'm going to mix this around a little. Again, you can mess around with it. It's fun. And realist artists are great, but I like a loose artist. I like loose. It's just the way I am. I learned that way at BU. That's how we learned, is be loose. And, I messed up that. I love that dripping, and I just messed it up, but I did love it. I can't get it back unless I drip more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, add a little bit more light around her. When you add a little bit more light around her. It's hard to do this. It's better off doing this in the beginning than the end. But see that little wisp of hair on the top? I don't like that. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to put this in. And you want to go in the same direction. So see how I'm going in the same direction? You don't want to go up and down and be choppy. You want to keep going in the same direction. So It's hard to get that back once you do what I just did. So I just showed you a big fat mistake. Huh. But I don't care. I don't. Yep. Had a great day today. I went to the Blue Plate Kitchen in West Hartford. Oh my God. It's so great. So you think they're going to have like fried eggs and ham and cheese sandwiches. And they don't. They have like kale and quinoa and crazy stuff. It's a very good place. There's not a lot of seating. And I don't know if they do reservations. Again, you want to make the front look more oceany. I'm putting on gloves. Look at this. Gloves. I wish we had Coco with us still, but I almost sat on him. Oh, I love him. He's such a great pet to have. And like I said, we have a gerbil. We have, I'm going to put some light going through here because there is light. And they make some splashing when they move around in the water a little. I don't know if I like that. It's okay though. I mean, we still have a little time left. So at least you know how to do a silhouette. And what I recommend is take a picture of your kids, no matter if they're sitting on the couch eating popcorn, however you want them. You say to your kids, hold hands in the living room and hold on to this spatula. And you hold on to this other thing. And then you just add it in. You can totally mix it up. It doesn't matter. But I recommend doing the foreground last, which is the front. I'm going to take these globs. I love globs. Look at this glob. I love it. I'm going to throw it on. I love globs. It makes it look real. See? I'm going to put some more globs here. And I might even put some more globs there. It's not a bad episode, actually. I don't know. I mean, it's fun. Look at it this way. Painting is fairly cheap. Unless you're using oil paints, that's expensive. And unless you're using larger canvases. I mean, obviously a place like Dick Blick is going to be a little bit more expensive than an AC Moore. But you don't need fancy. It's all in the talent. You know, it's great. And my next guest is Ted and Hyde. They are going to be on. We're going to be on location, but I will have cameramen. Maybe 3, maybe 1. Bill Jack, I think it is. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. He's coming out to do the show. After we have Bill Jack, we're going to have Christine Pettit. She went to BU where I went. It's crazy. So she's way younger than I am. Heather said not so much, but I mean, she's got to be. She looks gorgeous. So she's coming on the show next, and we both went to BU, and she actually said I can paint. And she's a photographer. So we're going to have a great time on the next episode. It's going to be me and Christine Pettit. We might be before the Bill and Ted. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much. We've got a little bit more time, my daughter says. So we're going to look. Another thing you can do is when you're signing your painting, say you don't have a pencil. I'm going to take this paintbrush here. I don't have a cloth, but I have the towel Coco was sitting on. I'm going to use it.
Yeah, screw it.
Yeah, I'm going to use it. I don't care. If your paint is wet, I'll show you a trick. You can sign your name into the paint like this. Now, can you read my name? No. But you don't want your name to be perfectly spelled. There was only one artist that I know really well that signed his name perfectly. Well, there's more than one. Norman Rockwell. His almost looked like a stamp. And his paintings kind of looked like a stamp. I don't know if he traced. He probably did. I'm not sure. He probably used the camera obscura because his pictures were so perfect. And he was an illustrator, so I could be wrong. Illustrators are different than painters. They're people that draw. So people that illustrate and paint are usually good at both of them. But I could be wrong. I have to Google that. But I think that Norman Rockwell may have used the camera obscura just because of the detail that was involved. He also did the Saturday Evening Post on a daily basis. So that's a fast production. It's sort of like when someone wins the horse race. I would imagine they use the camera obscura because the horse just won the race and the t-shirt comes out almost an hour after the horse wins the race. So I would imagine he traces that. And I do that a lot too. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I've told the kids at school, like, this is copy paper, carbon paper. You trace it, you'll learn how to draw. It's not a big deal. So this was our episode tonight. I thought it went great. I'm not so sure, but I can't imagine what else I could add in the background. Maybe a shark or something, but I'm not going to do that. I think we have enough time, and I think we're close to the end, Eddie. What do you think? 9:34. What time do we start?
About 4 minutes.
We got 4 minutes left, so we got a little bit of time left. Maybe I'll show you a little bit about my paints, and I think that looks nice.
Yeah.
You know, if you put your name in black and it's all perfect on the bottom, it takes away from the painting. So as long as your painting is signed, you just want it signed. It does not have to be legible. It doesn't have to be anything, but it has to be the same way every time. I've been known to print my name, Nolan Lombardi, and I've been known to sign it like a checkbook. So depending on what you want to do, I recommend making it just like your checkbook. Sign the same way you sign your checkbook. Sign the same way you write a script if you're a doctor. Sign the same way, because that's how people recognize you. That's how people say, oh, I know that person. They might not be able to read it, but they'll know I've seen that before. So this is a pretty easy painting. And again, if you just have your kids pose in the kitchen and say, hey, you hold a spatula and you hold a bucket, it doesn't matter. At least you have their shoulders, you have their hair, you have the way that your kid looks. Every person has the way they stand or the way they their posture. So it's very important to do that. I'm going to go back to showing the Miss Porter's picture, because Miss Porter's is right down the road from me. And this one, I don't know if I did it from a photograph, but it was so good that they made it into their Christmas card. And it went to everybody, the entire alumni. And thanks to Greer Torrance, who is the painting instructor there, who's way better than I am. But I mean, oh, he's amazing. And he's not braggy and pretentious. He's amazing. Amazing guy. He has a great wife, 2 wonderful children that now I think both attend Miss Porter's. One's a dancer, one's a runner. It's pretty cool. So I'm so excited. And my kids are doing really well in Farmington. You know, my guy got into Avon Old Farms. I was so proud of him, but I can't afford $63,000. Oh. So he's at Farmington, and he loves it. He's thriving. And my daughter's fantastic at math. I don't know where that came from. She was really great. So we've got great public schools here. I'm so happy that it ended up that way, even though I wanted trade school. But like I said, they're learning trades at high school now. So it's fantastic. I wonder if my daughter will be able to take hairdressing at Farmington High School. I don't know. But, you know, she's not into that anymore. She likes to just grow longer hair. I think it's in. The girls like the long hair. So thank you for tuning in for the crack of dawn in my living room. We've got about 2 minutes left, and they will shorten if they have to. I don't know if I'm going to take this camera out any longer because it was new to me. It was very hard. But it's basically like a gigantic camcorder, if you remember what those are. But it's like a boom box. Now people have everything. It's so different. Technology is crazy. But we basically have a camera, and it's a big, gigantic camera about this big. And it goes on a tripod. I'm looking at it now. It's right in my living room. And you can set up what you want. And you can get rid of all the other stuff. And TV's fantastic. So thank you for tuning in. And I hope you'll tune in to the next episode because I can't wait to see you. And if I cut a little bit short, that's okay too. Thanks for tuning in to the crack of dawn. And I'll see you next time.